me just try this again. This is absurd. Share. Twitter. Well, I don't need this, which means I'm gonna need a better computer, I guess. But so what I'm just gonna do, I'm just going to temporarily put this at a position right here, where I will adjust this, and I will go to here. That way I can just keep an eye on chat, and hopefully this actually runs a lot better. Because I am on Wi-Fi, so that should be a bit better. So let me go ahead and put this on mute and then get everything adjusted. Okay, cool. All right. So just in case if anyone else is watching, I just want to make sure, can you guys hear me over this? Is the audio good? Are we good to go on that? If so, I'll try to see if I can make any adjustments. I just want to know if everything's good. I'm doing a whole lot better here than I'm doing on the computer, so I'm having a lot better luck for the stream mobilely than I am on the computer. So I just want to make sure that I'm good there, if you guys can hear me. I've seen some fucked up shit, not in a good way either, as I can hear you crystal clear. Okay, nice to hear from you, Maniacs. Good to hear from you there. Hopefully, man, that hasn't like psychologically damaged you, man. Just there is some crazy shit in the world that can really fuck somebody up. Now, just in case if anyone else is dropping in, I'm just gonna at least put a forewarning with a message. I do have the stream specifically age restricted for primarily some reasons, and I don't want to disclose those reasons, but I just want to make sure that the safety of certain viewers out there are not being affected. I'm just trying to put the safety of the viewers and people that follow me. There are specific reasons. Ooh, that's fucked up. Especially the fact that, you know, I love my animals. That is fucked up. But so safety precautions. I'm age restricting these streams. I'm going to do that. It's a precaution that I'm taking. There are specific people, like I go to church for a reason. I just don't want any followers of mine, because I am a leader at a church, and I don't want people getting the wrong example of how I speak. So for safety precautions, I will age restrict these streams for the safety of certain viewers out there, and I completely respect the views and positions that certain people have reached out to before, and they've treated me like family, and I will respect that. So I'm going to age restrict these type of live streams just for that sake, because again, I wish to uphold and respectfully go with that. Now, my grievances with YouTube, that's still another thing that I really want to just kind of strut up across, or it could be my computer just giving me crappy internet connection. I don't know. Chances are I may just have to get a new computer, and I'll just put like a lot more of my my program stuff on there, my editing software, and other types of apps I want to just re-download. So I'll just do that for that particular reason. But so anyways, thank you guys for jumping in, watching the stream. So as from the title I'm looking at, from what you guys have seen right here, Chris Hansen and Personal Therapy Project. I want to just start with some minor stuff. I'm just kind of glad to be jumping on, and I've had a good day, but I kind of feel like I've been kind of fucking that up, in the sense I've been kind of taking that good day for granted. I've been kind of irritating some people, and trying my best not to like go that far. And it's not out of paranoia. It's not out of that. There's just some stuff I just really need to calm myself down on, and it's just been a little bit. Fair enough. You're welcome. I'm glad to get my mind off. Well, no, I definitely can. I can definitely tell. If certain shit like that is shown to you and you're trying to get away from it, find any positive thing that you can, take, set your mind off of that. It's probably a good idea to do that. And so, I've had a good day. I've had a good day at work. I got a few of my projects done. I'm happy about that. Even though it was a semi-productive day for me at work. However, though, things did get done. Things were normal. I got to go to some places, hang out, kind of chill, and take my mind off of things. And it turned out to be good. And there were some nice people out there today. And I felt happy. I actually felt happy, and I actually had, a good day. Some other things of productivity actually did come to mind. Got a lot more stuff done. Got more projects done. I'm just happy with everything, and I kind of like dwindled that down a bit when I was just over excited about a lot of things, and like kind of irritated a few people, and rightfully so. They got right to be pissed off about that. So I do apologize to those people, specifically one relative and a good friend of mine who lives, overseas. I do apologize, like very sincerely for that. For someone who pulled me out of a stressful situation back a few months back, I do owe them a lot, and I'll try not to like be much of a menace or whatnot. But anyway, so the reason why I'm doing really much of this stream right here is just a little bit to get a lot more off my mind. And one of the things I really want to talk about in particular is Chris Hansen, for one thing, because this is something I feel like I really need to get off my mind here, without the sense of directly involving a certain who people have been talking about, I myself and others. Uh, who is the you know. So from Twitter posts that I've seen, that Chris Hansen has sold, or from what I'm seeing, that there's allegations of him selling, his story. I guess his rights of a story, uh, to I guess some news publisher or pretty much a documentary publisher. I don't know. I would have to look back over that. Let's just say that he sold, I guess, his rights to a certain company or whatnot that basically now own the rights to that story, which he's now denying. But I think the allegations on that don't really they don't seem well with that in particular, because we have all of this stuff that we're shown on Twitter. And the fact of the matter is that we've been going on, like he's been going on, with those particular questions and, the interviews for the past few months. And what if we, as the audience, what did we get out of that? Basically, a complete 360 around the entire area, especially for the victims, by the way. Why is this? Why is this a complex issue? I mean, let's really think about it. We already got enough as it was on the particular person and said subject and said controversy. He did all the interviews. He basically got a lot of what he needed. Why isn't this person behind bars? I find that so very compelling, but at the same time, I find that a little bit out of the ordinary, especially with the whole Vincent situation and certain situations like with Ice Poseidon and all that. And I'm not coming to these people's aid because I don't necessarily know the entirety of the Ice Poseidon situation. I do know the Vincent situation as well. That one really actually deserved a big kick to that. Um, Orlando Rainbow says, all I'm going to say on this is basically selling the rights to such a serious story / topic is kind of scummy. Facebook's with a copy of War and Peace. I do agree with that, because why are we treating a serious situation like a marketing company? This is something I've also argued in particular when it came to the whole Mike and actor situation. And not a whole lot of people are going to agree with me on this situation. I still stand by what I felt with this a long time ago. Not really a long time ago, but all the months back. I still stand by what I feel about it. That just because when you talk about a certain somebody and those victims are involved and you keep milking a situation dry, you're basically profiting off these people's situations when you keep involving them. Now, again, it's not a problem if you want to speak out about the subject, but when you milk it dry and overly mass produce a subject like that, that becomes a serious problem to me, in my own opinion. And a lot of people did open up to that situation, and they did see that. Now, fast forward a little bit all the way to Chris Hansen, who did these interviews and pretty much was trying to get the story around here. And now it's become a story that seems like it's a selling market, it's a selling product. And this is where I start having a headache right here, because people like Repzilla, Repsion, Tamimi, Stevie Wolf, and all these people who genuinely have, and this is my point of view, if you disagree, that's fine. But in my opinion, and in my own personal point of view with this, is that these are the people that pretty much gave it their all, and gave it their sincerity, and gave everything that they have forward to the table to express and to pretty much come forward with evidence, stories, receipts, and also the viewpoints and the point of view of the victims that came forward in mind. Now, why are we treating this like a marketing gimmick? I don't know why. And for him to say that he's denying this, I've already been watching over, and I still need to watch. If Repsion actually made the video, by the way, I saw Tamimi's video over his situations with certain other people, like I've included Vincent, Ice Poseidon, and some of the other people that were mentioned into that project as well. And I guess Tamimi put in her own sense with her own points of views in regards to Chris Hansen. But Chris Hansen, I really thought, in my own opinion, was the guy that may finally put all this stuff to rest. I thought wrong. And I find that really highly disappointing because all that positivity and all that glass half full mentality in my mind saying, you know what, this is gonna happen, let it rest. And you know what? Again, I'm not gonna go back into that you know who subject. I don't it's not about that. It's really about why Chris Hansen did what he did. And I really think that he should just own up and, fess up, because he said it himself, he's not much of a YouTuber guy. He doesn't really know much about it. And the fact that he is circulating entirety of his own stories and the interviews, sorry, I meant to say that. The fact that he is circulating the interviews, it's doing the exact same thing as milking the subject dry. This is just where I get so irritated. There's a lot of other people who are irritated with this. Of course, I'm one of the few people that should say I'm irritated, because you know what? I've talked about this a lot, and I really don't want to go back to it. And I'm not going to go into that subject of that person, because you know what? He doesn't deserve to have his name mentioned in my videos ever again. That's beneath me. But I'm really shocked and disappointed at the fact that Chris Hansen would actually stoop this low. I just can't believe, within the judgment in me, that I gave this person, the fair judgment and the fair positivity that, I believed. Let me just read what Orleander had to say. At least give the victims the freaking cash payment for the therapy bills and other needs. As a disclaimer, I'm not playing devil's advocate at all. No, I completely respect that. Because where's the victims, where is their fair share in this? Where's the fairness in that? How is it fair to them that you, Chris Hansen, by denying, by the way, are going to sell a story to maybe some documentary published website or whatnot? So what, are we going to make a documentary over an effing YouTuber that we really don't even need to make a documentary about? It's one thing to make a disturbing documentary on people like not Chris Hansen, I'm sorry. I meant to say Charles Manson. Sorry about that. I guess I got the disappointed Chris Hansen on the mind. People like Charles Manson, the Columbine shooters. We don't really need to make a documentary about someone like this who has groomed and abused people. We don't need that. This person right here has already deserved to have his name put through the eye of the public. We get this, but we don't really need him to have more publicity. Because what should have happened is the fact that we had everything circulated together. We had everything from the receipts, the conversations, the text messages, the receipts of other people sent back and forth from this person. That guy should have been behind bars months ago. How come it's not happened now? And there's going to be some people that don't like me, or I do not like, and I agree with them now. Why in the fuck did this not happen? If we would have just had him behind bars, maybe a certain aspect of me would think differently about Chris Hansen. Maybe if you sold the story, okay, give the victims their due and have this guy, hit behind bars. Do what you're supposed to do and put this guy behind bars. But no. The guy is still free, along with his bean-headed fucking husband or wife. I'm still going to refer to him by their wife, by the way, because I will admit when I say this that, in the words of Ben Shapiro, I'm not going to modify basic biology because someone thinks to me, oh, well, because, this is what they identify as. Until I'm just going to say this, in the form of, either you have documentation of this happened or it didn't happen. So I'm still going to address someone by they are. They either a male, female, whatnot. Till they convince me otherwise, which it's not going to happen because I'm not going to watch their shit and I'm not going to actually be involved in any, dramas or parts of that again. Because again, the focus is on Chris Hansen. So back to here. I can't fathom the fact that we took all this time, we took all this effort, all of this patience, and every single amount as the community had finally opened and come together with an open mind and an open set of eyes. And the amount of patience that we all poured out and all together, despite the fact that maybe some of us may have been divided on the ways of how the situation could have been handled. However, though, in the sense that the community itself had come together to pretty much come forward with Chris Hansen because we believed that he was going to be the guy to bring this shithead down. But unfortunately, we are here now, and guess what? That's Chris Hansen right now. Maybe this guy isn't dead, maybe. But again, did we really think about how the victims are affected in this way? Now, everyone in the community is definitely affected by this because this is someone who we poured our time, our effort, our positivity, and even our praise into because we didn't believe anyone else was going to do something about it. But all of that just seems like it was just spat in our face. What do we have? What does our patience get us? What, in fact, does our patience get us here? It got us nowhere. Because of guys like that. Because the one thing that comes to their mind is money. Money just seems to be the one thing that drives everyone to that force. I don't know. Maybe I'm pot calling the kettle black because, I myself, I want to get a lot of money so I can get the heck out of Vegas one day. But, again, which kind of sets the difference here. But, Starflames, good to see you again. I know, long time no see. I had a lot of things I needed to complete on, which I finally did, and I'm happy about it. But like I said, I kind of take that day a little bit too granted. But it's good to see from you, by the way, and it's also good to hear from you. So that's really all I have to say about Chris Hansen at that point. But I would just recommend if you guys, if Repsion did make a video, go to his channel and see if that, because I still got to go see his video. But I would actually watch Tamimi's video over that. As a matter of fact, let me give you the username. It's the love of money that's the root of evil. Okay, that's a good way of putting it, by the way. So Tamimi, that is her channel. I would check that out, by the way. I would also check out the tweets from Repsion and from Repzilla, by the way, if you want to look a little bit further into that. I did see some screenshots from Repsion and Repzilla, and I even said to myself, I hope this was not effing true. I really did. And unfortunately, that's just what it comes to. That being said, I'm still kind of keeping my eyes and ears posted on the whole James Soroka thing. There's just some creepy crap. It's just coming back and forth to me on that. It's a real headache area. So much for a good day. Okay, so now that I'm done talking about Chris Hansen there, I've kind of gotten that off the mind here. That was about 18 minutes that I've spoke my mind out about. From the next part of this, the next subject I wanted to really kind of touch across is a personal therapy project. Now, this personal therapy project that came to mind, it came to mind to me about maybe an hour or 2 hours ago, just because there's just a lot that's been on my mind ever since the day I left Texas. I went into Arkansas for my final year of high school, and I hated Arkansas with a passion. And don't really much care about it. I do care about the people that I've been friends with back there, and I really hope that they are doing well, and I hope some of them are still safe, because there was about maybe a month back, there was a tornado that ripped through the town of Jonesboro, and the Turtle Creek Mall, I believe it was called, got torn into, and it's devastating. Now, despite the fact that I really do not give much of a flying fuck about that town, however, I'm glad that there's some people out there. I don't wish this upon anyone. I'm glad that so far from what I heard, no one was killed. And if I'm wrong about that, please correct me for any one of my Arkansas friends that are out there. I'm just glad that friends of mine that I know are safe out there, and they're doing better and they're moving on with life, and that the mall gets rebuilt and certain businesses out there do recover, especially with the whole corona outbreak going on. Yeah, sue me for that, YouTube. I'm just glad that certain things are still good for people, but I digress. The reason why I'm saying that this personal therapy project is something I'm going to do, and it's going to be a different way of operating for my channel, because what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to film myself in possibly maybe 3 different angles. It's something that I'm going to work upon. It's probably not going to be now, but it's something that's going to take me time. And I'm not going to lie to you, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be a painful, angry, sad, somewhat happy experience. It's mostly angry and sad. Because this is kind of going with the same things that I've kind of gone through in therapy. I'm not going to tell every single thing about it. I'm going to kind of like, in a way, I'm going to kind of portray myself, uh, portray other people in my life. But the thing about it is that this is the part I really don't want to be taken out of the context, because the way that I may portray somebody else that I've had in my life may be over or under exaggerated. So I really don't want them to think that they're completely a bad person or completely a good person. Just think about it in between the lines. Documentary is the root of all evil when it goes for that you-know-who person. I really hope he doesn't get a documentary. I mean, that's just beneath a lot of people here, but... So yeah, it's probably going to be in 3 different angles, and it's hard because there's a lot of things that I keep going back over. And one of the reasons why I was off of live streaming for a bit of a while is because I've been having a lot of personal moments at work, at the house, and I've been kind of thinking, because I've done stupid things before, recently and in the past, and I've been kind of having one of those, I've had one of these moments. Now this is a weird example, because I like to use this video game as an example. Like, if you guys played Red Dead Redemption 2, there was a certain scene, and spoiler alert, Arthur Morgan as a character, he starts having tuberculosis, and he goes to a doctor, and the doctor tells him he's having tuberculosis and it's a progressive disease. And there's a moment where he walks out of the doctor's office, and there's a moment where he's just walking by himself. There's no one around. He's just walking by himself after figuring out that he's dying. And these echoes of memories, they kind of catch up to the person. And no, I'm not dying, ladies and gentlemen. I was having these kind of moments, at work, at places that I've gone to, and people that have talked to me. And I kind of had these moments where I'm just walking by myself, and I hear these certain moments in life that come up to me, and it's sort of similar in a way, and it's hard. I had hard days at work, and I don't expect people to feel sorry for me. I've had hard days at work. I've had hard days at certain places, and it's a tough thing to concept or to grasp. But I kind of keep remembering a lot, and I just feel like it's just catching up with me, and I keep questioning myself back and forth. Am I really a good person, or am I really a bad person? And I know, to a certain individual out there, to a certain somebody who was covering the James Soroka incident, he was like, is this the guy who keeps saying that, like, I've done fucked up shit? Well, I'm just going to make this completely clear, if you are watching, by the way. It's a psychological problem that I'm dealing with, and I'm not trying to say this to sound like a dick. Basically, you was having a mental, intrusive thoughts in a way. The key phrase is here being in a way. I mean, I've been having intrusive... That's another thing that's kind of been in my mind, is intrusive thoughts, and it's hard because there are certain things that I want to do and I can't do because of those things that keep coming back into my head, and it sucks. And it was one of the reasons why I went into therapy. I had a mental breakdown. Not a mental breakdown, but like I was having a crisis. And it was at the time we were actually renovating our store, and like that felt like a metaphor right there, or a sense of symbolism, because we were basically physically transforming our store into something else new. And I was going through some sort of change, and I really don't want to say what these specific intrusive thoughts were, but like it was just to a point, because we got our new dog, and this dog was just excessively chewing on this toy all the way through, and I had no sleep, and I was just having some compulsions, and it was weird. And I went into my boss's office, and I told him exactly what was going on, and I started breaking down in tears, and he started telling me the stuff about Corinthians, and he referred to me to a psychologist or therapist. And so I was like, you know what, I will go there straight away right after work. I broke down again, and I was telling the therapist what I was having a problem with. So I got myself signed up, and being that I didn't have medical coverage, I had to pay directly $100 for every session, which that's fine. I ended up having to do that. Uh, and so I kind of went for about maybe 7 or 8 sessions, and I told her my problems, and maybe I haven't covered every single aspect of my problem, but things did get a lot better for me for a time. But make no mistake, I still have these thoughts that keep coming to my head that kind of bring me down a bit, and I have uncertainty, and I keep seeking reassurance from people, and I know that kind of makes it worse, but I think in some way this is another reason why I'm making this therapy project, because there's a certain aspect of me on one angle that really just wants to just yell and just confront the people in my life. And make no mistake, I'm not completely innocent in some stuff, okay? I'm content with the fact that, I've done stupid and shitty things. I've hurt people in my life, and that's something that I'm trying to confront as well. On the other hand, I feel like portraying the people in my life that I feel like really affected me in that way. Now, this isn't really mostly about pointing fingers at somebody or confronting people, because in a certain point of view, I am at fault for certain things in my life, but I feel like there were some other things in my life that it really drove me to that issue, and I really think that kind of it messed with me. And I feel like in some way that kind of brought me to where I am. And I'm gonna do my best not to get completely angry with this, because it's still something that fucks with me. It does. So on one hand, I feel like portraying myself. On the other hand, I feel like portraying a therapist, and on the other hand, I feel like portraying certain people, which I'm not gonna be like. I don't want to be accurate. I just want to like get my point out across. Trio Horror Productions, I know you don't know me, but you have to accept sometimes you're just going to hurt people in life. You just have to move on and improve every day. I do like that way of thinking, and I do agree with that. I just feel like, however, I feel like I need to confront those situations. Smeared in the brain like a haircut smeared with mayo, grummy brain smearinger. Oh my gosh. There's just certain days where I have this particular aspect where I keep coming back to the fact, like, am I really a good guy, or am I a bad guy? There are times where I've yelled at my dogs, and I really feel like they shouldn't have deserved that, because, like I said, I've been going through shit, and I love my dogs to death. I love my dog Khaleesi. I love my dog Tiki. That's our new dog we got, and my gosh, she is a cute and adorable dog, and she's like well trained, and like I'm proud of that dog. There's Sassy, who's been with us since Arkansas, and I love. It's. And then I got my best little buddy in the whole wide world here, who I love very much. He's been with me since middle school. I love that cat to death. He's like my own son. Then I got my cat Monkey here. She's always been an adorable kitty. Like, you get caught up into drama. And yes, I have. I have been caught up into drama. And I agree. And I feel like there's some things that I really shouldn't just really have dug into. I'll say there was one instance when I took my trip back in last November of last year. It's easy to get caught up in drama and personal issues. Don't be so hard on yourself. By the way, what's up, Logan? It's good to hear from you again. And I do appreciate that, trio. I don't know. Another aspect I will say is that, I don't know, I've also... There was an aspect of me that really looked upon a lot of people's lives. They have a significant other, and I just don't know what love is anymore. I just find that harsh. I think with everything going on, it's I just see like once I do this project, I think that this is a way for me to personally confront a lot of things. You know, I kind of remember, and I'm going to actually say this in the personal project video, but I want to say this here, and I'm not going to specifically say this person's name, but I think this one gets to me the most because, you know, I literally was about to start my senior year of high school, and I was away from everyone that I loved in high school, and it's still something that it still eats at me to this day. And I've actually patched things up with this person, you know, and he we're still good friends. It was just there was something that was brought to me, and you know, he was incredibly pissed off and so angry at me because you know his girlfriend said something to him. I guess whatever the fuck that was, and apparently, like I can't even describe what the fuck this was, but something about me wanting to, you know, I guess F his girlfriend, which I find completely absurd because I don't have a thing for this person. I don't know what the hell I saw with that person. I don't know. You know, to me, she was a friend, so I thought, but because in high school, as much as I had a crush on a person, and I'm not saying that I had a crush on this person in any way, shape, or form, because this person was in a relationship with a dude who I was good friends with, and you know we like to share jokes back and forth, but like I never had a thing for this person. But in correspondence to this, I lived by a code in high school, and how effing ironic because I feel like I'm not doing this anymore. But I lived by a code that I don't screw with people while they're in relationships. Like there was certain people in my life that I had a huge crush on, but I still lived by a code that I would not interfere with somebody in a relationship. That's just not somebody who I am. Now, I will say that I was overly obsessed with somebody in high school, but a few people had talked to me about the situation, and I've come to terms with this in a way, but I still feel like I still need to confront this in a way. And these people were right, and one particular who I owe so much to was right. Yes, I was obsessed, but I feel like that person led me on. So in a sense, I'm at fault for my shit, but I feel like at the same time, this person was at fault for leading me on. She didn't just lead me on; she led a lot of other people on. But still, I own up to my shit, and at least I'm upfront about that. I can own up to my shit. But to the other person who said to their boyfriend, by the way, I feel like I still hold a grudge to that person. And being led on, it does suck. But like I know that's something I'm trying to move away from because I had nightmares about this person. That this person in another particular, this is a different scenario, but this person who I have an obsession with, you know, in high school, they would always give me that look of scorn every time I would dream, and I felt like that was something I had to confront. And I finally got my closure out of it, but I just feel like it didn't sink in for me. But as going back to this other person, I lived by a code. And I'm still trying to figure it out to this day. And I feel like that's one of the things that's just fucking with me here. Yes, I did talk to my therapist about that situation before. And there are other things that I talked to her about before that I don't feel like I really wish to discuss that. But here, hold on, I'm gonna let my cat out real quick because I know, buddy, I know. Here you go, buddy. Here, I'm gonna leave the door open in case you want to come back in, all right? I just really wish, because high school reunion is actually going to come back up in about a year or so, and I really feel that I really wish I could get the answer to like how did this happen? Because right now I just feel like I really just want to live alone on a ranch back in Texas with certain people that I really just want to talk to, and that's it. And that's just how I feel like I want to live my life. And yes, I have problems with flirtation because I flirt with a lot of women. That's just how I'm programmed. And I'm, like I said, I have cut back on it. And I kind of said, I just took a good day for granted. And I was talking to a particular individual, and she didn't deserve to be like bombarded like that. And, you know, I apologize sincerely. And, you know, I'm going to promise not to ever do that again because, again, I was just overboard with my good day and because I got a lot of stuff done. But I do beat myself up too much. Still hold many grudges. I'm pretty sure I will never be able to let them go. Sounds simplistic enough. Look, I mean, I don't believe that grudges should be held, together. I still kind of just feel that way, but it doesn't mean that I guess it's a permanent thing. I'm just trying to find a simple answer out there. And I really can't take my walks out because of the whole protests and stuff out there, so I have to really be careful to where I go. And I really can't get into the whole in life situation stuff. It's just there were just thoughts about that I had, and it's really been fucking with me. Because now I feel like if I go back to high school, my high school reunion, which is about in a year or so, it's next year. Which I do plan on going back because I really want to see my friends very much because I love them like family. But I feel like, and it's my fault. I know this because I really could have gone a lot much better in my life if I would have done something with it. And I feel like I haven't. I feel like working on a ranch, but that's something I really want to work towards. But before I get into that, I'm going to read Logan's stuff here real quick. I want to drop them because they caused me to do a bunch of stupid stuff that I will regret for the rest of my life. But I can't let go of what was done to me, and that's hard, Logan. I can understand your situation and prowess with that. It's just how you handle it. I guess is the best medicine for it. It's just how you handle it. And also, by the way, I'm gonna get a haircut. By the way, so this long hair is not gonna last. So I'm probably gonna get like a certain maybe faux hawk or mohawk going here. I'm not sure, but it's just something I plan on doing. But I think this is another one of those reasons why every time I go back to Texas, I take these personal walks to places that I've been that none of my friends or family are anymore, and it's metaphorically and also literally like a ghost town, is how it is. Calm myself down a bit because another thing that kind of like I've been playing GTA. I've kind of that's another thing that's bugging me, by the way, is the whole PS5 and the GTA 5 thing coming out because they have exclusives coming out for that. In order to get those exclusives, you have to switch over to a PS5, and that's another thing that's rattling me, by the way. So I'm sticking with MK11 for right now. But hopefully, there's something else coming out in GTA 5, which might calm me down a bit. But bright side of things, my brother is coming in about like a week or so I'm actually thrilled about that. So it might be good to actually take a ride out with him and talk about some stuff. I will say to everyone else that I went to high school with, or some people that I've known that I've some women I flirted with and feel like they are uncomfortable with me, like which I don't wish any ill regard, and I'm actually proud of these people for doing something with their lives. I hope it's Vice City, and I actually heard rumors that it actually might be in Canada, but I could be wrong. It was a rumor I heard, but I'm not going to jump on the conclusion of that rumor. But to these people out there, I'm proud of these people out there. The women I flirted with back then, I've actually found a significant other. I'm proud of these people, and I'm really proud that they actually found someone, a whole lot better than me, and I'm really proud of my friends for living a better life. Just give me a second. Okay. But there's some good news to some of this, and dogs barking. I am gonna try to take a trip out in October, possibly around Halloweenish. And I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be kind of tough, but yeah, it has been a strange year. There's a lot of stuff going on, and just my own personal aspect of Vegas. I just want out, and I have the power to make that happen. It's just, am I gonna be able to have a sustainable place if I worked at another place of business, or if I transferred out? I like the idea of working on a ranch, looking at the plains, or like the city of Frisco out in the distance. That's kind of something I imagined. Owning my own land. But I'm still gonna try this little project out, and it's gonna be tough because I gotta come face to face with a lot of stuff in life. You're never gonna have good cards. No, I agree with that. I agree with that motion. Life isn't always about sunshine and rainbows. It's life is suffering. Life is enduring. Life is bettering yourself. And take the leap of faith. I will. As a matter of fact, here's something else that I think on a positive note, I'm gonna show you guys some things here. Some things that I'm gonna do when I get back to Texas. So, for example, like I took some Polaroids because I have a Polaroid camera. Took some pictures of the strip. So, for example, here actually, because I'm doing mobile. So that's a picture of the quad along with the Ferris wheel that's behind. It's one of the places I wanted to take a picture of, and I wanted to kind of get that old school capture of. This right here is of the Encore, which there's a waterfall in this picture. You may not be able to see up close, but I believe it's like right here. It's a fantastic view. So I figured I'd take a picture of that because the streets were empty, and it was a perfect time to take pictures of that particular area. This right here, don't be judgmental here. This was actually an angle I love to take of the Trump Tower that was actually behind the strip over by the mall. I think there was like a Macy's there. But that was one of the areas I wanted to take a picture of, and it seemed kind of appropriate, being that the streets were empty. Another area right here, which this one happens to be one of my favorite shots because it kind of sets the old school look of the strip. Kind of feels like it's out there in the 70s or the 80s, in a sense. Even though I was born in 1992, I like that. Which I might make copies to do this because I do have a cord on my printer I can do, and I do like that idea, by the way, Trio, because I do like the outlook of this. So it's something I'm gonna do for Texas. This one didn't really come out too good. This one was a first photo I took. This is a new building that they're constructing over out in the strip, and I guess part of the film there. My brother did tell me that it's still kind of a good aspect that they like in it because it kind of shows that maybe it's some gritty look of it for the photo. And I've got some more somewhere, but this is another one of my favorites right here because we have a few cars and a few buildings in the passing front here, so it kind of captivates that motivation for it, which if I go back out to Georgia too, I might take some more photos. So it's something about this I miss. Because I miss when I was young, I had this innocent times, and I missed that kitty. And there was a dog named Dakota who I loved so much, and she was one of the best Dobermans. I mean, I love Miss B, Sassy, Khaleesi, and Tiki, which her real name is Mystique, but I miss Dakota very much. And she was a good dog. When I look back on photos like these, there's a photo of me, my brother, my uncle Scott, and my dad, right there. That's one of my favorite photos right there because that's one of my favorite uncles in the whole wide world. You know, even though he's not biologically my uncle, but you know, this is the guy who I think Stevie looks a lot like. Uh, it's a cool thing to me. Let me show that up closer so you guys can see. So that was the kind of guy I wanted to be just like. You know, and still do to this day. And then we have another one up here of my photo, and this one's kind of hard to really look at in a sense because yeah. So here's my uncle. There's my aunt. There's my other aunt right there. And this is my cousin Corey right here. For some people who don't know, my cousin Corey McDuffie was one of the regional champions of Magic the Gathering, and unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago. It's kind of hard to say. He passed away from an overdose on heroin, and that's a little bit hard to touch up upon. And I know certain people who watch this might be heartbroken over that. And you know, I loved him like family, and I really wish he was still alive. I think that's another thing that really affects me in a way, and it's just hard. You know, I really wish that the people that I see in these photos, I really wish I could have been more like them. You know, at a time like that, that was a time to be alive. Not at an age where you were spoiled or you know you would be sassy, but like at an age that you hung around family and friends, and you felt like those days were never gonna end. And you fast forward now, and it's just hard. Do I wish things were different? Yeah, I do. And I take a look at myself now, and what am I? Just what am I? Anyway, I don't want to get into the whole depressing mood. It's just tough. Sorry for people that are going through connection problems. I apologize. Just crappy internet. That's it. But so I might just cut the stream off right here. I just want to say thank you guys for coming out and listening to me a bit. And it's stuff that I'm going to work through. It's a personal project I'm going to work on, and I'm going to just try my best to take this a bit slow at a time. And thank you, by the way, Trio. Uh, I also want to do a shout out real quick to a few channels out there. including you guys, you know, Logan, Trio, Orlando, Starflame. I do appreciate you guys coming on board. Uh, Channels like Far From Subtle or Video Games Awesome, I do appreciate you guys. I call them Uncle Fraser and Aunt Becky because, you know, they're like family to me. Shout out to Yandria. I do appreciate her a lot too. Sorry I haven't been on in a long time, and I'm really glad to, you know, kind of come back in and show my support. Stoutmeister or Official GATG, Stevie Wolf, uh, Chelsea, Courier, and to a whole lot of people. I do appreciate you guys very much for what you do, and I'm going to try my best to hang in there. So I do appreciate you guys coming to see me, and I'm going to try to work a little bit more on some more projects here. Just try to take my mind off a bit and be a little bit better from this. So I do appreciate you guys. I'm going to get off for a bit. I'm going to come back, and I won't be gone for like long. I'll just take about maybe a day or two, and I'll try to come back on and try to work on this project. And again, it's going to be a mixture of probably both angry, happy, and sad. Most likely angry and sad, but no, I did talk about Chris Hansen. The Chris Hansen was about like the first 14 minutes to maybe like 15 minutes. I did talk about that a little bit from back there on the stream. Get in contact with Keeper Nova Ice. Okay, I will, because I do remember. I think Keeper Nova Ice was also someone who actually had the situation on James Soroka a bit, so I'll have to keep in touch with that too. So I do appreciate you guys coming out here. Guys, take it easy and be safe out there, especially with what's going on right now. So you guys have a wonderful day.